Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more Friday Night Magic. Today I will be playing the Firewave deck. This is the red direct damage deck. It's got a bunch of burn, creature removal through that burn, and then some phoenixes and fun stuff like that. And this opening hand is actually not too shabby, so I think we will go ahead and keep it. We are playing against Necromancer Novo. Anyways, this is the third time we're trying to start this episode. The last two, I started up the episode, I started recording, and then the person left like at the first hand, 2 times in a row. Super frustrating, but it looks like we're getting things through here. At least the first turn has commenced. So I'm opening up here with the Goblin Arsonist, a really nice card. It's 1 red for a 1/1 creature. When it dies, I get to have it deal 1 damage to target creature or player, which is really, really nice. I also have a nice turn 2 that's gonna be coming out here, and ooh, he's gonna play a 1/1 Undying. That's actually a huge bummer, because chances are pretty good he would block the Firewalker. So I think, well, actually, this is really good. That'll be a really good play. So instead of playing the Firewalker and having him block this and kill it, because I really want this damage to go through, he's playing the zombie deck. I'm gonna play the Pillar of Flame, which will do 2 damage to his creature. But even though it has Undying, typically with Undying it comes back with a counter. The great thing about this 2 damage from the Pillar of Flame is that if the creature dies, it gets exiled. So in not going into his graveyard, he doesn't get to bring it back with the Undying. So I think that was the good play for that turn. My other play was to drop the Slith Firewalker and then hit with both these guys. The problem with that is, though, he would have blocked this. This is the obvious target. All right, he's gonna play this 2/2 here, comes into the battlefield tap. That is excellent, because that means this turn I get to get the Firewalker through, which will give him an extra counter. And yeah, that's gonna be really great. Okay, so we're gonna drop him in play. He's a 1/1 haste, so he can attack as soon as he comes into play. And then we're gonna attack with both of these guys here. So 2 damage will go through, and then he'll get an extra 1/1 counter for doing damage to the player. So there we go, he's now down to 17. But this guy becomes a 2/2, and then next turn if I get him through as well, it's gonna turn him into a 3/3. And so what I could do is I could just go ahead and Chandra's Outrage, his potential blocker here. The dire Graph Ghoul. Let's see what he plays this turn. Zombie deck is super aggressive. It'll be rather interesting. Really happy that I've got a Flame Break here. This is gonna come in handy this game. And this is actually much more aggressive than this deck typically plays. He's got a 3/2 first strike. When a creature dealt damage by the ghoul this turn dies, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Okay, so I might just have to Flame Break and take the losses, basically. This thing's got first strike. Well, my other option is just to Chandra's Outrage. Yeah, I can just Chandra's Outrage his ghoul. Maybe that's going to be the better play. So, yeah, we'll hold off on the Flame Break. I am going to Chandra's Outrage his ghoul. And then we swing for 3. And then this guy turns from a 2/2 into a 3/3. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We'll save this for upcoming zombies that he might play that are ridiculous. Flame Break, dealing that massive damage, but unfortunately in the process also eliminating my creatures or any creatures without flying. Now this deck in particular has got a handful of creatures with flying. Those are the Phoenixes, the various Phoenixes. He's gonna Doomblade my 3/3. It's a destroy target non-black creature, so that is gone. He's a 12, I'm down to 16 now. I still have my 1 Arsonist to hit him with next turn. Still have my Flame Break to use in the future. Not doing it anytime soon, though. And at this moment, I think what we'll do is well, let me do this. I'm going to attack him first. So we swing for 1, bringing him down to 11. And then I play a second Arsonist. And I'm gonna Browbeat right now. So Browbeat, it's 5 damage. A player may take 5 damage or their spell resolves. If it resolves, target player draws 3 cards. Of course, I would be the one to draw 3 cards. And so he's either gonna take the damage or let me draw 3 cards. Either way, I'm happy. 5 damage, I'm happy. That drops him down to 6. Or draw 3 cards, I'm that much more happy. It almost makes more sense for him to just take the 5 damage, because chances are in the next 3 cards I'm going to draw out more than 5 damage. You know what I mean? He's going to take the 5 damage. Okay, so he's down to 6 now. So in my hand, in play and in my hand, I've got a total of 5 damage I can deal to him. So I just need 1 damage to go through, and then I win the game. So what I mean by that, ooh, we win the game next turn, I think. So when these die, they deal 1 damage to our creature or player. So all I need is 1 attack damage to go through, okay? And then when they die from the flame break, that's 2 more damage, there's 3. And then the 3 damage from the flame break is 6 damage. So there's the win right now. So here's the turn, here's the play. We attack him for 2. He takes 1, he blocks 1. The one that he blocks, I have the damage go through to him directly. So that brings him down. Let me make sure my math is correct. Right, that brings him down to 4. So we're gonna have the damage done to him directly, brings him down to 4. Then we flame break, killing all the creatures, dealing 3 damage to each creature and each player, each creature without flying and each player, killing off my arsonist, and then I've got the 1 damage remaining to do directly to him. Ta-da! All right, game number 1 out of the way. Let's move on to the next game. Okay, well that went better than expected, to be honest with you. This deck, it can certainly be aggressive, but I'm surprised that it hit. Wow, this is going to be another game with Arsonist and the Firewalker right early on. We also have the Grim Lavamancer here, which is nice. We're going to go ahead and keep this hand. We're playing against Spellslinger Bam Beelbees, and he is playing with green. Could be a number of decks, so we'll have to see what he drops next turn. We're going to start off here with our Arsonist. That is, once again, that 1/1 that when it dies, it deals 1 damage. I love the picture of it, too. This little goblin, he's got this pyramid structure strapped to his head and a fire staff with little protective gloves. All right, so he's playing the green aggressive deck. I don't know how I feel about that. So I probably don't want to drop the Firewalker because he'll just block it and then nothing happens. So I guess what I'll do is I'll attack first, see if he wants to do the trade with the Arsonist. My guess is that he won't. But if I'd played this and attacked with this, he definitely would have traded that. So he's going to let that go through. And then I think my next play right now is I'm going to play the Firewalker. And then make him decide if he wants to save this for a blocker or not, or, you know, he could have another blocker in his hand that he can play this turn, so we'll see what happens. And now I know a lot of people might be coming into these Magic videos from my Hearthstone content, because I have picked up several new subscribers from Hearthstone. We're going to let that 3 go through. One of the big differences between these two games is that damage is not persistent when it comes to creatures. It is, of course, for players, but if a creature takes 1 damage, they heal up at the end of turn. It doesn't stay. All right, he's gonna, yuck. He just dropped a Pulse of the Tango, which lets him put a token in the battlefield, and then if I have more creatures than he does, Pulse of the Tango goes back to his hand. Now, that wasn't the case, so Pulse of the Tango did hit the graveyard, but at this point, unfortunately enough, I'm not really in much of a position to attack. I'm going to play down the Grim Lavamancer. Lets me ping off creatures by exiling cards in my graveyard. It's a red, tap it, exile 2 cards from the graveyard, and deal 2 damage to target creature or player. But at this point, I swing with any one of these, only 1 damage goes through when he blocks. So I kind of might as well save these guys for blockers. And this game looks like it's going to be a little more slow-paced in terms of my ability to hit the opponent. Let's see what he attacks with here. Unfortunately, I've got no play next turn. Now what I could do is I could double block this guy to at least get cards in my graveyard to ping things off with the Lavamancer. I would be sacrificing him, but honestly I don't know that I'm going to get anything through anyways. Well, why don't we get rid of the token? Yeah, because I get 2 damage from that. So I'm gonna... No, you know what we'll do? I'll chump block the token, and then I'll block this, and we'll use the extra damage to ping him off. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't have done it that way. Because I could have pinged the 3-2 off with the Lavamancer, I should have killed this beast. So that was a mistake. And I figured he was playing another creature, which is why I did not try to save this guy. Like, I knew I had to throw him away. I pretty much guaranteed I had to throw him away. Because I was positive that he wasn't getting through anyways. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to Searing Spear this 3-3. I cannot let this thing live. He gets a 2-2 wolf token every one of his upkeeps, and then he can use those wolves to ping guys off. So we're going to pop him the 3 damage from the Searing Spear that we just drew. And then I just sit on the Lavamancer, because I can always, it's an instant cast, this tap ability. So I can always do it during his turn. Another big difference between Magic and Hearthstone. It's funny, because I've been running this Magic series much longer than I've been doing any Hearthstone videos. But again, I know that there might be some people coming from Hearthstone into these Magic videos, so I'm going to try to point things out every now and then. So he's going to Prey Upon, which is going to have them do equal damage to each other. Or rather, I do 1 damage to him, he does 3 damage to me. So what I'm going to do in that response is I'm going to activate his ability, and I'm going to deal 2 damage to him by exiling 2 of the cards in my graveyard. So he actually just threw away his creature. I don't know if he knew that he was doing that, but he did. So there's the 2 damage, then the Prey Upon triggers. I do 1, he does 3, his creature's gone. I'm happy with that, really am. Oh no, but he throws down an Eternal Witness. It lets him fetch a green card from his graveyard. Is it just green? Return target card from the graveyard to your hand. Yeah, it's not just green, it's any card. But... And he brought back the wolf guy, I noticed that. We're gonna Lava Axe him. Might as well, we got nothing else going on right now. So that's 5 damage to his face. Brings him down to 14. We're sort of on even footing. He does have a slight card advantage right now. I know what one of them are. One of those cards. And I do have the Chandra's Outrage still, which will be good because he's probably going to play the Wolf Hunter, or whatever. I forgot his name. It's not Wolf Hunter. I know for a fact it's not Wolf Hunter. It's nothing even close to Wolf Hunter. What's it called? Master of the Wild Hunt. So I figured he was playing that because he did just fetch it from his graveyard with the Witness. And that is, of course, the prime target for our Chandra's Outrage. So 4 damage to a creature and 2 to that creature's controller. So that's 4 damage to his 3-3, 2 damage to him, brings him down to 12. We still have our Lava Axe. Unfortunately, though, he's got this creature that he's pinging me with every turn. And he is going to Nature's Lore, which gets a land into play. And then, let's see if he does anything during his second main phase here. The answer is no. Okay. Need to start drawing something here. This is not bad. Pretty much it's a sorcery, so let's do this now. We're gonna get rid of his, 2-1 here. So he stops hitting me with that every turn. And we could just Lava Axe right now. Why don't we just do that? Sometimes I like to sit on my hand, but if I draw into something with haste, well, actually maybe not. I'm at 11 though. Yuck. So I'm thinking I want to save this just so I'm not dumping my hand, but also in case I get a Phoenix, there's, I guess it wouldn't die right away anyways. Let's throw this at his face. We'll bring him down to 7. And now it's just all about the top deck. Or as people have been saying in my Hearthstone videos, the heart of the cards. Which I guess is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my lord. Vigilance, Trample, and Undying. Vigilance means it doesn't tap when it attacks. Trample means damage goes through any blocking creatures. And Undying means it comes back with a 1/1 counter after it dies. That is horrible. We do have Flames of the Firebrand. 3 damage divided how I choose among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures and or players. So we're just going to do that right to him. All 3 damage because he is so low. And we just have to hope for a top deck of 4 damage, at least. I mean, he doesn't kill me next turn, but at the latest, he kills me in 3 turns. Nope, he kills me after this turn. If I don't win this turn, that's the game. So he hits me for 5 right now. And unfortunately, even if I draw a creature, the only thing that I had like as a trump card would have been a flying creature, but he just played the Sentinel Spider, which has reach. So that means it can block creatures with flying. And that is the game, because I just drew a mountain, and that's that. So GG. GG for me. How sad, huh? Alright, well that was a decent game. Yeah, that was a decent game. Okay, overrun, definitely necessary. Totally necessary. I love when people just, you know, waste that extra time. Yeah, let's play this, because it makes a difference. I'm just being bitter. Alright, that's the game. Let's go ahead and move on to another. So unfortunately, with that last game, you basically just saw me run out of steam. I mean, that's literally what happened. We had our early gameplay, and he had sufficient blockers, and, you know, things to deal with the little threats that I had. This opening hand really isn't that great. Let's go ahead and draw a new one. And then I just ran out of steam, and holy crap, that's a terrible hand too, and this is probably even worse. Alright, let's try it. We went down to 5 cards. Doesn't really get much worse than that. There's a slim to no chance of me winning this game. Literally slim to none. No. Alright, literally like no chance for me to win this game. Going down to 5 cards is the absolute worst. Now luckily I've got some semblance of aggro here early on, and we're gonna be hitting for 2. And next turn it will be for 3 unless he's got a blocker. He totally knows. He totally knows. That's funny. Alright, so he's down to 18. We went down to 5 cards, which is stupid. Like, I should have literally just forfeited the game at that point. Opening hand, in hindsight, would have been acceptable. Second hand, bad. Third hand, even worse. This hand, luckily I had a turn 1 and 2 drop. Otherwise, it would have just been hilariously bad. At least I had something. And actually, there's a chance that I could actually do all right, because I'm playing against one of the slowest decks in this installment of Duels. Like, this is one of the slowest decks around, and I just draw a third. I might have a chance this game. Sulfur Vortex gets the clock ticking, as I call it, dealing 2 damage every upkeep and stopping life gain from happening. There is a slight chance that I could win. I'm gonna be swinging this damage pretty hard for the next few turns. There's little that he could have, unless he, well, there's a couple of creatures he could play for blockers, but I'm getting this extra 2 damage tick, and with this enchantment, I'm stopping life gain. Pretty sure that deck has no enchantment removal. This is rather funny. If I won with a 5-card opener, it would be kind of hilarious. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna swing with both of these because it's obvious he'll block the 3/3 and the 1/1 will go through. If he blocks the 1/1, the 3/3 becomes a 4/4, so happy day. I don't mind that I'll be losing the 1/1, but again, he's probably not gonna block it. So, chances are pretty good he won't be blocking this 1/1. But the thing is, I'm not having many cards in my graveyard. The only chance I really have of winning this game is just hitting him super hard, super fast. Especially given that I went down to 5 cards, so chances are better than not. Oh wow, he does choose to block the 1/1. Okay, again, that's not that concerning for me because of the fact that chances are good I wouldn't have had I don't have the time to get the cards in my graveyard to even make use of his ability. So now I've got a 4/4. He did not play a blocker. Is he playing a blocker? If he doesn't play a blocker here, he's in a lot of trouble. He's getting a land. That triggers his Heart Expedition. He can sacrifice it, get his lands in play. He can then, that's gonna be 2 more lands to sacrifice his next Heart Expedition, get 2 more lands in play. So next turn, he's sitting at 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands. Next turn, he's playing a huge creature. However, if he doesn't have a blocker right now, this is 4 damage. 6 during his next upkeep, and then 2 more the upkeep after, which means I would win. So he needs a blocker desperately right now. That is not a blocker. He draws a card, he can play an extra land. Oh my lord. Oh, you know what? Oh no, he could all his dust. If he hasn't all his dust, then I don't necessarily win. And unfortunately I just drew a land. I was kind of hoping for damage there. But he'll, oh no! No! Oh, I skipped my attack by mistake. Stupid hotkeys. Oh my god, I lost. I'm gonna lose now. Here's this huge blocker now. He's got a 5/5. Enters the battlefield, he gets an 0/1 for each land he controls. Then when he plays a land, they get pumped up. Oh my god. I lost myself the game. That is ridiculous. I need removal desperately. 5 damage. I win. Oh, thank the Lord. I was so angry at myself. You have no idea. I was so angry at myself. Thank the Lord for the Lava Axe. Plus the Sulfur Vortex. Well, number one, I can't even believe that I had an opportunity to win. Given that I opened up with five cards, but the fact that I screwed up that attack, I don't know, whatever. We won, that's all that matters. That was so horrendous. Ouch. I can't believe that. I mean, we won, but I can't believe that screw up. That screw up was so bad. That was so bad. All right, this opening hand is actually pretty aggressive. With the Firewalker, Phoenix, I've got a Reverberate, a Disintegrate, plus the Final Fortune, which is kind of hilarious. Let's go ahead and keep this hand. No turn 1 drop, but again, we do have the Firewalker, which will be nice. Hopefully I don't skip any attacks this game. All right, so let me show you my hand. We've got the Firewalker, we'll be playing that next turn. Haste gets pumped up whenever it deals damage to a player. Got the Phoenix, 3 lands for 2/2 Flying Haste, and yuck. So he's gonna chump block with that, unless I remove it right now. Yeah, alright, so he sacks it to give creatures he control +1/+1 until end of turn. Well, you know, actually. Swing into it and see if he takes it. I want to save the Disintegrate for one of his other creatures. Now, you know, yeah, let's just swing in and see if he takes it. If he blocks it, it's fine. That's tough. Yeah, let's just swing in, see if he takes it. Like a 80% chance he'll block this, though. There we go. Kind of expected that. I get rid of his Selfless Cather, though, in the process. And that's good, because that could be really scary in upcoming turns. He's gonna drop down, what is this here? 2/2 First Strike Vigilance, protection from werewolves and zombies. Kind of need to get rid of that. I might just Disintegrate that this turn. I guess I can Disintegrate it in future turns, though. So we can just Chandra's Phoenix this turn. Well, let me keep this going. Let me keep slowing him up here. We're gonna get rid of that now. So get rid of that. I don't want to give him the chance to pump it up, basically. You know what I mean? And because my Phoenix has haste, whenever I play it, it's effective immediately, so. He's gonna play 2/2 during your turn. Your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities. Okay, so I can't basically do anything during his turn. So any instant casts basically become ineffective. But that's fine, because a lot of my damage is removal and a lot of my removal / damage is sorcery anyways. The thing that sucks though is I can't Reverberate during his turn. So I'm gonna have to Reverberate one of my spells. Unless of course I kill off his Grand Abolisher. Yuck. Fiend Hunter, he's gonna exile my Phoenix, so I need to kill the Fiend Hunter to get that back. I've got a Flame Wave, but this is a 7-drop. I'm clearly nowhere near that going through anytime soon. And I also have the Inferno Titan in my hand. I'm playing with 24 lands in this deck, which I think is pretty sufficient. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Do I hold off on the Disintegrate to kill his Fiend Hunter, or do I get rid of his Abolisher? I don't know if I'm even going to have anything else to play next turn. Why don't we get rid of his Abolisher? It's more threatening damage-wise. And I do have a few spells that have 3 for removal, 3 damage, so can always use that to kill the Fiend Hunter. Inferno Titan is amazing, but unfortunately, again, this is a 6-drop. I've only got 3 lands, so we're quite a ways away from being able to play that. And really, at this point, I've got not a lot going on. And him being a small aggressive deck is at a much better position. Playing this would be unbelievable against his deck though, Flame Wave. Or if I draw Flame Break, which is the 3 damage for 3 to everything. This is nice though. The Lavamancer, we do have 2 cards in our graveyard, so we could totally activate its ability. And because I got rid of his... Where did it go? Yeah, because I got rid of his Abolisher, I can do it during his turn as well, after Summoning Sickness subsides. So that'll be 2 damage to ping him, etc., etc. He's gonna swing, of course. I'll let it go through. So let me show you the cards in my hand too, in case you don't know. So I've got the Inferno Titan for 6 lands, 6/6. I can pump it up with red mana, and then when it comes into play or attacks, it deals 3 damage divided how I choose among any number of 3 target creatures and or players. It's another land, getting that much closer to the Inferno Titan. And we don't attack. If anything, we ping him at the end of turn. I'm probably going to save this to ping off any creatures he plays, though, actually. We've got the Final Fortune, which lets me take an extra turn, but then after that turn, I lose. If I don't win in that turn, it's game over. Get the Reverberate to copy an instant or sorcery spell and choose new targets for it. And then I've got the Flame Wave for mass damage. And actually, you know what? I might just start attacking. Because I'm required to exile cards from my graveyard in order to activate the Lavamancer, I can only do this once right now. Twice when something else comes through. So, I'm kind of hoping he plays an instant or sorcery sometime soon. I want to reverberate something. I want to do something. I've been doing nothing. Alright, there's 5. So close to the Inferno Titan, which will be huge, because once I drop that, I can pick off his Fiend Hunter, get my haste creature back. And we are actually going to attack. Maybe not. Yeah, let's not attack. What I'm thinking right now is because I actually, this time, I might want to ping him at the end of turn, because if I draw into a land next turn, I can Inferno Titan. Now, if I don't draw into a land next turn, it will have made no difference. But... And I think me keeping him untapped is stopping him from playing creatures. Alright, so he's going to play this guy. It's a 2/1 Vigilance. So I'm going to let that sit first. I want to see if he's got anything scarier that he wants to play before I start pinging stuff off. I'm not just going to get rid of the first thing that I see, you know? So we're going to let him attack. We're not going to block. Let's see if he plays anything during the second main phase. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for another land. You gonna play another creature? No, you do not. Okay, so at the end of your turn, I'm gonna ping off your 2/1. Okay, we're gonna exile 2 cards. And he's gonna path to exile and process. Oh, yes, here's the perfect chance, and I'm gonna reverberate his path to exile, removing his Fiend Hunter. Getting my creature back, getting a land in the process of him getting rid of my dude. His thing still dies, because the path to exile doesn't resolve until after the damage goes through. And now that I've got the extra land, I can Inferno Titan. Plus I got my 2/2 back. Glorious day. This was, that was a great turn for me. That was a great turn for me. So here is, oh man. Here is the Inferno Titan. Well, let's wait till after attack, I suppose. Yeah, let's attack first. I don't know if he's got anything funny here. So we're gonna attack with the 2/2. Oh, this is so good. So good. And we drop the Inferno Titan. The 3 damage is going right to his face. They'll bring him down to 13. Pick all 3 damage for him. And unless he exiles this, or locks it down, or whatever, he's gonna take another 3 next turn from the ping when it attacks, plus whatever damage this will do, unless he plays a blocker, plus the 2 in the air, and I've got a Final Fortune. So he's gonna play down First Strike. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. That is fine. And what is he doing? He keeps pausing. What a troll. He's a huge troll. That's really funny. Good for you. All right, he's left the game. So he obviously realizes that that's the end of it. He's gonna play this. The computer's gonna play this. It's got power toughness equal to the number of creatures it controls. Plus when it comes into play, he gets 2 1/1s in play. And I think they have flying. So that means he can block my flyer. Yeah. Problem is though, I'm gonna be pinging off his stuff when I swing here, so watch this, ready? Oh, you know what I could do? I could just do this. Yeah, how about we just do this? This is, yep, this is the play. Flame Wave to him. 4 damage. 4 damage to all his creatures. And then we hit for 6, 7, 8. And then we deal damage to him to finish him off. Well, unfortunately, the real player left, but I think it's pretty obvious that that was a win anyways. That was a pretty solid game, if I do say so myself. Okay, so as always, we will be wrapping things up by taking a quick look at my deck list here for the Fire Wave deck. Just playing it aggressive with damage, picking some of the best spells available, and yeah, it's not super creature heavy. We've got the Grim Lavamancers. They're primarily, honestly, used for creature removal, target removal, whatever. Goblin Arsonist, really nice to have, early game creature, pings off other creatures. Disintegrate just for direct removal, plus, you know, if you get into the late game, it can be a significant amount of damage. We've got the Pillar of Flame for 2 damage to a creature or player. If it kills a creature, it's exiled. Very effective. Flame Slash, 1 red for 4 damage to a creature. The Slith Firewalker. I love this card. I can't believe how much we played with this, considering I only have 1 in the deck. But he came up quite often. It's pretty strong. Got the Reverberate to copy an instant or sorcery, choose new targets. Final Fortune to get an extra turn, but you lose after that. Searing Spear for 3 damage to a creature or player. Chandra's Phoenix. Flying Haste 2/2. If it's in the graveyard, you can play a red instant or sorcery to get it back in your hand. Got the Sulfur Vortex, the Ticking Time Bomb that stops healing as well. The Flame Break for 3 damage to all creatures without flying and each player. Flames of the Firebrand, 3 lands for 3 damage divided how I choose among 3 targets for creatures or players. The Browbeat, either I draw cards or they take 5 damage. Firewing Phoenix, 4/2 flying, can return it from the graveyard to the hand. The Furnaces of Wrath, I wish you guys saw this come into play. If a source would deal damage to a creature or player, it deals double that damage instead. Now that works for the other player as well, but given that I've got so much direct damage, it's kind of doubly hilarious in my deck. Chandra's Outrage for 4 damage to a creature, 2 damage to its controller. Magma Phoenix, it's another Phoenix. When it dies, deals 3 damage to each creature and each player, plus you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. Running theme among Phoenixes. Fire Servant, sort of like the Furnace of Wrath, but this one works only for you. It's a creature, 5 lands for a 4/3. Red instant or sorcery spells you control that would deal damage, deal double damage instead. I've got the Cone of Flame, sort of like the Flames of the Firebrand. It does damage divided, so it's 1 damage to a target, 2 damage to another target, 3 damage to another target. Law of Act for 5 damage to a player. Inferno Titan, just amazing card. 6/6 for 6. You can pump it up. It does 3 damage when it comes into play and attacks, divided how you choose. And then a couple of mass damages in Inferno, 6 damage to each creature and each player. And then Flame Wave, 4 damage to our player and each creature he or she controls. All right, guys, that is the deck. Again, mass removal, lots of damage, couple of creatures sprinkled in there as well. But it's can be pretty effective. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Friday Night Magic. Tune in next week for another episode. And also welcome to any of you who might be here from Hearthstone videos. Glad you can check out Magic the Gathering. It is my first love in collectible card games. All right, take it easy, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.